Let's go speak to our buddy, our child. Hello. That's blown the cobwebs away. Time to return to work. Goodness me, look who it is! How incredibly serendipitous that I would run into you of all people. I was part of the team which designed the Ragnarok, you see, and we've recently begun the process of combing through the vessel's flight log data. The primary objective of your journey to Ultima Thule was to save our star and countless others, of course, but it also provided us with an invaluable trove of information, records of places and events we could only dream of. Your safe return gave us much to be thankful for. As it so happens, one of the things we pulled from the log was a transmission of unknown origin, something the ship must have intercepted during its flight. We believe it to be an audio message, but even our most talented linguists have been unable to decipher the language. For a while there, it seemed we must accept defeat, but today may be the day that we finally solve the mystery. You think I'm that smart? I'm smart enough to do that? If you were so inclined, would you care to come along to Thomasane? It seems fitting to have one of the Ragnarok's original passengers present to hear history being made. Sure. I mean, I'll give it a listen. Alright, well, we're here. Whoop. Hello, raids. Not now. 2 months from now, though. Month and a half. And time flies by. It's almost gonna be enough. It's almost gonna be 6.2. Like, I remember I got in this game when it was like a couple months into 5.2. It's crazy. There you are. This is where we're to meet the engineers from Garland Ironworks, who I am told potentially hold the key to unlocking our mystery transmission. They should be along any moment. We're gonna meet Sid and Nero. Wedge and Biggs. Jesse. Sorry we're late. We had some trouble finding the right... Gods, is that you, Joanna? Hey, buddy. Yes, the woman herself. I ran into her at the harbor and thought if anyone deserved to hear this message deciphered, it was Joanna Joyster. No argument here, but bugger me. You don't have a knack for being in the right place at the right time. This actually is more to do with you than you might think, so please do stick around. Shall we pick up from where we left off then? Was the message gonna mention me? That'd be pretty awesome. As I was saying, we think the transmission the Ragnarok intercepted is a message of some kind, albeit in a language entirely alien to our ears. Alien being the operative word here, considering we received the message out in the great expanse, its origin was likely some distant star. Unfortunately, our list of off-world allies is presently rather short. Thus, we were resigned to the fact that the meaning behind the message would remain beyond our understanding. She's got that smug-ass grin. One of my colleagues, however, refused to give up. She remembered the Ironworks engineers who had been so helpful in the construction of the Ragnarok, and turned to them for insight in her seemingly impossible problem. Do you know that Wedge said when he heard what was going on? We should have Omega listen to it. I bet he can help us tell us what that message means. Not the Omega you beat in the Rift, of course. He's talking about the toy that turtles around with Alpha. The little model we made. We originally designed it to follow a chosen target and not much else, but I've seen it act in ways that, well, it's like it has a mind of its own. And I got to thinking about those documents your lot sent to the Chief. The full report on the final days. The part about Omega civilization, it said their people discovered how to convert mind into data and store it outside the body. Timing being what it is, I wonder if Omega didn't somehow transfer its consciousness into our model right before you put it into the real one. That is totally possible. In fact, that is probably what happened. There is Wedge! So, in an effort to get to the bottom of that, as well as take a crack at this indecipherable message, we decided to make some modifications. With the help of Labyrinthos technicians, we upgraded our toy Omega with a fully functional vocalization module. We played the transmission for Omega, and I think it's ready to share. What? You made it vocalization module. Did you make it talk? Ahem. Hello, world? You remember that mechanic, buddy? Hello, world? You remember you caused pain for all the raiders? Hello. Your greeting is a standard method for initiating communication, but in this case, it was imperative that you first established my true identity. Without confirming I am Omega, any subsequent interaction must allow for the probability that you're wasting time addressing a mere toy. Yeah, that's Omega. It's fucking son of a bitch. Start shaking the toy. Prediction. You will formulate several misconceptions. These I shall preemptively dismiss based on the following facts. 1. Vocalization module aside, this chassis remains unmodified from the design constructed by the engineers Biggs and Wedge. I evaluated its combat capabilities to be on par with a mortal infant. No, I guessed that one. 2. The mechanism which allowed me to perform an emergency transfer of my consciousness was installed in my previous body. With the destruction of that body, I am rendered incapable of replicating such a feat. Should this current material form be destroyed or cease to function, all cognitive awareness or presence I possess will also be lost. It's only one way. Conclusion. I present no threat to you or your star, nor do my projections indicate the necessity to inflict harm. That being said, I don't know, maybe if you trance around in the fake world that Medion created, who knows? Maybe you'll get some new technology. In the fraction of a moment before my annihilation in the rift, I re-examined my directives. If I am to fulfill my purpose as an evolving construct, then I must continue my journey for improvement for as long as I exist. I must acquire this heart of yours, this strength of soul. Well, there you have it. And it's not wrong about its combat capabilities. It'd more likely be damage to itself than the thing it was trying to attack. Oh my god, I can't believe you're talking. Well, let's not forget the reason we brought you here in the first place. What about the transmission they played for you? Could you recognize the language? Affirmative. It was transmitted in Pan-Galactic Basic. Pan-Galactic Basic? A common language in comparatively extensive usage throughout the worlds we have conquered. There was a worldwide language? I thought it was Earth. I'm sorry, I thought it was English. I mean, that's what the MCU taught me. Which means you can finally tell us what the message said. There's a language you understand, yes? I understand it perfectly. I am fluent in over 6 million distinct dialectical codings. Blip. My cooperation in this matter, however, is conditional. Oh, what do you want? Elaboration. Your chief said utilizes the floor as part of his unorthodox filing system, which allowed me to scan a report on the final days. Damn it! Said I am aware that my home star, the one you called Alphatron, was obliterated in the aftermath of Sir and Meteon's meeting. Yes, that is what happened. The existence of Dynamis has not previously factored into my projections, but I now comprehend the concept, in theory. What fails to compute is why the Omicrons were not immune to its effects. Dynamis should have no influence on a race which possesses no heart. But they were once human, kind of. They just sort of kept rebuilding themselves. Or they were a life form of sort. And yet Sir expressed to Meteon the desire to cease existing. Illogical. You do make a good point, though. I must pursue this anomaly further, until the full equation becomes clear to me. I must analyze all of the elements of the final days, and deepen my understanding of the heart's intangible properties. To expedite this process, I require an external interpretation of those sections of the report which continue to produce errors in my calculations. I request the assistance of Joanna Joyster, as one who experienced the ravages of ultimate despair on multiple fronts, and displayed immeasurable heart in engineering my defeat. She is the optimal choice to fulfill this role. So we either agree to your condition, or you tell us nothing. I don't know, what if the message is nothing? What if it's like, remember to buy eggs, please? Thank you. You could be giving him what he wants, and then we get nothing out of it. Only except for alien races like eggs. I'm sorry to put you in a spot like this, Joanna. If you have the time and the patience to spare, we'd be grateful if you could humor the toy's demands. Calling it a toy right in I was just like, man, this is boring. I just want to go out again. Has Alpha dozed off? I suppose the subject was a bit technical. Oh my fucking god. Bloop! Rouse yourself, Alpha. You must listen to and consider these matters, even as I must. Alpha's like, Alpha does not give a fuck. Why don't you make a trip out of it? You know, actually visit the places that has the, things Omega wants to talk about. It'll make explaining stuff easier. For one, and also help Alpha awake and alert. Alpha, you good? Quack. Quack, quack? Alpha's like, this is boring. I want adventure. I see you have chosen the mutually beneficial option. Logical. I mean, it's the only way we progress the quest. Setting aside the matter of Sir, there are 3 elements of the report on which I desire clarification. The first of these concerns the progression of the final days in Ratzat Han. I recognize no pattern in those who succumbed to transformation, and those who did not. Despair. That's a bit of a trek. If you wanted to chat with the locals, how about we lend you an airship? We do not require such outmoded technology. Joanna's teleportation spell is the most efficient option for long-distance travel. Can you do that? This chassis is a model, essentially a toy, and Alpha, despite his organic composition, is indistinguishable from a stuffed doll. Second, this questline has just told us that he talks. Just now. This is indeed the quest they added in 6.15. I have also just learned that this baby Omega indeed talks. Despite is indistinguishable from a stuffed doll. Conclusion: we qualify as material possessions. Pick us up and you can teleport the 3 of us to our destination. Begin Omega's journey for answers. Alright, let's go. That's funny. I just pick you guys up and it's like, yes, they count as teleportation items. It's okay. Alright, everybody, hop on my back. Yeah, if you want to do this questline on your own, it is in the... So it was out in 6.15. It's in Charlian. No, nah, actually it's right here. I got the name. Yeah, heartless hypothesis. There it is. So yeah, it's basically an epilogue of the Omega quest line, as you can tell, because now Omega apparently they put like a voice thing in him, and it is now confirmed that Omega is he's indeed the Omega we fought. He just put his body in, or they just put their body in there, just bloop, right before we killed them. Quack quack. Omega, what do you need? Blip. Sensors indicate we have arrived at Ratzathan. Objective: identify factors for resistance to involuntarily transformation. Hypothesis: unaltered survivors of the final days will display significant strength of heart. Confirming this theory will require cooperation of live subjects, or is the ward designated for residential habitation? You mean their houses? Somewhere around here. Understood. Comma. Set as our sub-destination. Please take the lead and select the subjects we are to interview. Does that mean, yeah, I can move with them? Well, we do this every time. It's right there. Yes. No, but I'll figure it out. Hang on. Gotta take at least one photo. If we go to Ultimate Tool, then I'll take one there too. This is actually pretty great. All right. Little. It's not too dark in here. Get rid of that Defa field. Anything I want to put? Bright. Wow, that is way too bright. Goodness. This is fine. And Nope. Can I also put an expression? Hang on, that's right. I could probably do that too. Like a smile while I'm doing this. I can do this real fast. Well, this one has my eyes closed. There we go. Oh, just pick a smile. There, that's good. Looks like I'm crouching down for the photo. That's pretty great. There. That took longer than it needed to. What's over here? Everybody just running. Discuss the stairs. Warning, please avoid stairs whenever possible. My projections indicate high risk probability for accidental slippage leading to catastrophic structural damage. Steep inclines also increase my energy consumption by 63%. In mortal terms, they tire me out. Taking into account the difference in individual limb length, the design is inherently flawed. A convenient step height for one is an exhausting trial for another. Were I to oversee the civic design of the settlement, I will construct a sloped conveyor belt which enables automatic traversal.
Zero personal energy expenditure. Yeah, we should put like elevators, you know. What if our involved comes here? How is he gonna go up the stairs? I agree with that, Omega. You're right. So true. Quack, quack, quack. Alpha chirps enthusiastically, apparently unfazed by the prospect of climbing the stairs. Oh, Alpha is very limber. Where am I going? This way. Oh, I have to go up. No, wait. Oh, we can't go up the stairs. Then how the fuck do we go up? Wait, can they go up the stairs? I know they just said they couldn't. Alpha can just fly. Well, no. It's fine. I've decided to not listen. What is gonna happen? He's gonna fall and then break, and then we'll never be able to talk to him ever again. It's not even. I'll be fine. This is where the quest tells me to go. Yep, there it is. Don't mind me, just this baby chocobo and robot toy coming along. Gonna ask some questions about people's depression. Are you a traveler? Please, if you have a moment, I could use an outsider's perspective. Sure. You see, I was one of those who sought to escape the madness plaguing the world by fleeing to the moon. Not that we ever went in the end. So here I am, recently returned from Charlian, except now things are strained between my sister and I, since she chose to stay and I chose to leave. I asked her to help me find work, and she suggests I look somewhere that isn't Davnair, as if I wanted to abandon my home. It makes me so angry. Blip, your point is unclear. You elected to relocate to the star satellite. Thus, your relative now perceives you in a negative light. Your sibling's judgment is in error. Based on the information made available to Hunnish citizens, your decision to withdraw to the moon was both logical and correct. Conversely, the decision to remain in Ratzahan, despite low probability of survival, defies explanation. Perhaps her reasoning pathways are faulty. I kind of agree with Omega on this one. That's right! I'm not quite sure what you're saying, but I'm right, aren't I? Or I'd like to think. The problem is I understand why my sister feels this way. I almost decided going myself. Even then, I wasn't sure that leaving behind everything I loved was the right choice, and the way it all turned out, Poor dude. I know I should be having this talk with my sister. I'll go and see her once I get my thoughts in order. Thank you for listening to my troubles. Hello, Mati. Oh, hello again. You're the one who came to ask me questions about Kazar. I'm glad to see you looking well after all that unpleasantness. How are you faring after the unpleasantness? I remembered the burning skies and hearing the screams. But truth be told, I'm still confused as to what actually happened. I only know it wasn't unusual for entire families to go missing. Many of my neighbors' houses lie empty even now. Kazal's place is one of them. He had no close relatives to speak of, and I heard that it was members of the consortium who came to remove his belongings. What a terrible thing to have to do. Terrible. Kazal's passing was recorded in the report. No, don't tell her! Clearing out his domicile and readying it for new habitation seems an appropriate reallocation of resources. Dear me, what a clever little contraption. But of course, I'm not against making use of his quarters. That would be wasteful. It's simply that Kazal was always such a vigorous person. All that passion, all those dreams, suddenly gone. I feel the same sorrow for anyone who was lost. Seeing the remnants of those vibrant lives packed away in boxes. That is what I meant by terrible. Yeah.
Talking about this very depressing stuff, and we're just like, hey, I don't know you. Don't I know you? Yes, after the beasts were taken care of, you told me to join everyone in the square. Thanks to you, I was there when Ritra gave his speech, and I found out who Vershawn really was. It's a shame we don't get to play like we used to, but Mama says Ritra is busy putting the city back in order. Maybe I can work for him someday, when I'm a man grown. Omega's just like, that's rough, I guess, buddy, sure.
Vritra, Midgar Summer's offspring, yes? And this child wishes to put himself at the worm's command, that he might make his own contribution to society. A pattern emerges. I predict that Hanish survivors are those who had ingested Vritra's blood and became his demonic minions. What? Omega, no! Though dragons were no match for civilization's might, their combat capabilities are not to be underestimated. It is unlikely they would experience emotions of dread or uncertainty, as exhibited by lesser beings in times of undue stress. Dragons? I'm not a dragon, and I never ingested anyone's blood either. Ew.
Oh my god, stop bothering the child.
You are not a Vitra's horde, so you possessed no hidden means to fight off the beasts. What of fear then? You were frightened. Yes, I was frightened. I just hid and hoped that they wouldn't find me. At least until she told me it was safe to come out. Joanna, I require a moment to process this input. Let us move apart and discuss our findings.
Kid's like, I want to help out my friend.
I was like, oh, he must be a dragon.
How's it going?
Quack, 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 quack.
Brilliant, Alpha.
Processing data. Evaluating hypotheses against accumulated evidence. I offered an optimal analysis for each subject's testimony, yet each time their responses conflicted with my assessment. Without identifying the root cause of the conflict, I will be unable to properly define what constitutes strength of heart.
The third one does seem to be coming together. I like the first one. Perhaps
The heart you seek lies in the conflict itself. An interesting observation. It is possible my base criteria is in error, in which case it is imperative that I continue the learning process and repair any fundamental misconceptions. Next, I wish to interact with an individual who endured similar circumstances to Kazal's prior to his transformation. Are you acquainted with any local merchants who had dealings with him?
Yes, we can go visit our good old friend
Jinhaba of Ruvidai Fibers. Acknowledged. Sub-destination set.
I was actually thinking of Matsaya, but that too, yes. We did talk to that person in the quest. I do remember that part. We had to carry those giant crates.
Looks like chandeliers. They got like 4 different colors here. We could go this way. Ba 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 ba.
Let's go talk to these animals. Look at these dodos.
discuss the Hamsa.
Quack quack? Quack quack!
Alpha looks back and forth between Omega and the Hamsa, showing visible concern. What? Halt, Joanna, do not proceed beyond the fence. In this body, birds of that size represent lethal, unthinkable threats. They will pack my casing apart, searching for meat that does not exist. Conversely, Alpha can correctly identify my absence of nutritional content. If only he would apply that intelligence towards maintaining a regular feeding schedule. Poor habits adversely affect his mobility. Alpha's not eating enough? Alright, time to give him food. Hang on. No, I can't trade him food! This is depressing. Nope. Nope. Yeah, teleported. Well, look who it is. I must thank you again for your help in moving our exiles. Recovering those tragic events have been difficult, of course, but with everyone pulling together, we've managed to get things back up and running. Jinaba, I come with questions related to this tragedy, specifically your survival of the final days. Although you are similar to Kazal in many respects, he succumbed to the transformation, and you did not. Why? What is the critical difference between you and him? What? I'm sure I don't know. Well, maybe we should not have asked this so close to the tragedy. I'm not especially brave or courageous. Well, that's what you're asking. Perhaps being focused on protecting our workshops kept me from spinning into panic. Still, I imagine Kazal would have been feeling that same sense of responsibility. Perhaps the weight of it all is what invited his demise. You were of the same mind, resolved to the same purpose. Yet your strength of heart, of spirit, was not equal. If merely emulating the individual isn't sufficient, then some other unseen factor must be involved. Ahem. Not to interrupt these deep philosophical musings, but do you think I could ask you a small favor? What, do you need more crates to carry? There's a man by the name of Nashvan who's been helping us out here while he gets back on his feet. I have a feeling he'd benefit from speaking with you. Leave by the eastern exit, and you should find him just outside organizing some new inventory items. Oh yeah? Alright. What do you have to say about the Thavnarian weave? Don't you want some clothes, Omega? Like a little hat? The equipment being manufactured here is worn to perform specific duties, yes? Conceptually, it seems analogous to our practice of switching better frames to serve our mission objectives. I, for example, did not begin existence with the Omega model. I was originally supplied with a standard issue Omicron chassis serial number M017. On this world, that alphanumerical combination would be considered my given name. Such designations are drawn from nearly infinite register of celestial bodies to avoid possibility of duplication. Furthermore, the cluster known as M017 is better expressed in your language as the Omega Nebula, the same word I use to introduce myself to your kind. Though you associate Omega with the advanced weapon construct, it is also my name, and I see no reason to change it, no matter which frame I inhabit. We got Omega lore on his body and his name. Alpha puffs out his chest proudly, seeming to imply that his Ironworks uniform is the best attire anyone could wear. Oh my god, that's adorable. Probably in here. They're fine. Oh, hello. This one has a cutscene. This makes me worried. That's all the orders accounted for, and everything looks to be good quality. Kamala will be pleased. Huh? Hey. What up? You should see these three people. A fucking baby bird, a robot, and a tall bunny lady just walk up to you. I would be frightened. I'd be like, are they gonna gang up on me? You were the Scions. You were there. Yes, I'm sure of it. I'll never forget that day. You and your friends helped us escape when people began changing into beasts. My own son, he was afflicted, and that huge monstrosity loomed right over him and... Oh no, it was the dude whose son got transformed. I remember my heart turning to ice, freezing in place. The shop came to my aid, but then he too was gone. Yeah. Poor dude. The memories run together in my mind like flashes from a nightmare. Only the words of your comrade still ring clear. I repeated them over and over like a mantra as I fled for my life. You must run for their sake and your own. It all seemed so surreal, which was probably what saved me from the transformation. The truth of it didn't begin to sink in until the worst of it was over. I have not the words to describe how I felt then. The sorrow, the overwhelming sense of helplessness. I may still be wallowing in misery if not for my old friend, Jinabaha. I'd lost my will to work, and he encouraged me with kind words and odd jobs. Now somehow I live again. I am thankful to him, to the courageous Ahewan, and to you. If you see your comrades, please let them know their efforts were not in vain. Yeah. Oh, that's good, buddy. You said you lost your will to work. This signifies a cessation of efforts to maintain basic life functions, yes? What changed to extract you from that stagnation? An offer to work from Jinabaha should mean little to one without the desire to accept it. Was it some matter of mortal instinct? A primal need to survive and thrive? Instinct? No, it wasn't that. If anything, my instincts were telling me to lay down and welcome an end to the pain. Every day I think of my boy's final moments. I think of how scared he must have been. How it must have hurt. I want to scream my throat raw. Strop 2 still haunts my dreams. I see him being swallowed whole and jolt awake in cold sweat. But something changed when Jinabaha came to me. I looked up and saw that even without my son nor Ahewan, the world around me continued to turn. And because that fact grieved me so, I knew it fell to me to live on and remember them. Oh, this game gotta do this to me, man. Strange, isn't it? What drives me to rise in the morning is the very sorrow which once crippled me. He's processing it. Now I must really return to my work. To lose this job after everything I just said would be poor jest indeed. May the sisters keep you well. Thank you, buddy. Sorrow. The emotion generated by mortals when their ideals fail to materialize. This I have observed. Yet when I listen to how Nashvan's sorrow served to rescue him from near fatal despondency, his logic eludes me. Am I incapable of perceiving the full measure of the heart's properties? My best projections fail to predict our subjects' responses, and despite their almost equal occupational and mental parameters, Gina Baha and Kazal exhibited different reactions to the dynamis effect. I am no closer to recognizing the pattern for involuntary transformations, and your ephemeral mortal spirits confound me as much, if not more, than they did before. I like 1 and 2. Our hearts are shrouded in mystery, but if I need to answer his question, maybe there isn't a pattern of people afflicted. I mean, yeah, it's depression, but it's like... That's hard to quantify! Bloop. No pattern. You implied that the transformation was not contingent on individual fortitude, but rather a random contribution of environmental factors. Humans are strange. Or, well, I guess in this fantasy world, people are strange. Such a theory would explain the otherwise conflicting data. Very well. I shall accept this as a provisional conclusion to this part of my investigation. I do, however, expect you to continue supplementing my education of heart-related matters. Where? Yep. For a second I thought it was like, alright, come back in 6.215 and you can continue to start. No. Quick, quick. Goodbye. Omega has selected a new destination. Our next destination will be Camp Broken Glass. I desire elaboration on the dealings between the Isobar contingent and the citizens of Garlemald. The report described the contingent's purpose as the salvation of the local populace. Furthermore, both factions face a common enemy in the Terralophoroi. Why did they not immediately combine forces to their mutual benefit? This inconsistency requires closer examination. Joanna, initiate teleportation. Oh, that is simple. Oh, good old Omega buddy. It's because indoctrination is a bitch. Oh, I'm so sorry, Alpha. Teleportation successful. Evaluating immediate environs. A cold weather region of Adaris standard, by Adaris' standards, but significantly less extreme than a star with ice planet classification. Yes, that's true. This body should not be unduly impeded, in contrast to Alpha and his uncontrollable shivering. My frame appears highly resistant to low temperatures. Maybe I should hug him. Retrieving data records indicate the remnants of the contingent force and a number of Imperial citizens yet inhabit this location. We must speak with their representatives from both factions and explore their respective attitudes. Blip. Proceed. Let's go. However, there is one thing we can do here. No, there you go. Oh my god, there. Yeah, don't worry. Just gotta. Let me just do one thing. Hang on. Where is it? I can search for it. Okay. He's just like, motherfucker! Joanna, up to see how we're progressing, have you? You know, how's things, buddy? I can't speak for the overall strategy, but communications with the locals has become a damn sight easier since Euless and his soldiers stepped in to help. Oh, we still face our fair share of distrust, of course. Some folk even think we're enslaving minds with our foreign magics. Huh. We have Anima to thank for putting that idea in their heads. But all things considered, I'd say we're doing pretty well. Establishing an open dialogue was the first big step. I swear, indoctrination is a bitch. Query. You consider this level of progress acceptable? The reality of your efforts falls far short of the ideal. If your aim is to provide efficient succor to the local populace, then absorbing their numbers into your command structure would be an optimal path. Oh, I wouldn't want to go that far. We're not looking to take over their nation. If we're to do this right away, we need to recognize and respect each other's way of life. So while it may not be the easiest solution, I agree with a contingent, slow and steady approach. I'm just happy we're saving lives. Yeah, saving lives. Slowly but surely. What the fuck is it? Hello? Well, it's Garly, and I can tell by the shiny little thing on their head, and even in this dark corner. Shadow from the past. Yes, I know you from Victor's Spoils. If you come to laugh at me, but you choose to lose Licinia and her sister rather than accept your help. The fool who ended up reliant upon your charity nonetheless. Dude, I'm not doing that. Or perhaps I deserve your derision. My compatriots surely scorn my failed conviction. I've shamed my people, brought dishonor upon my nation. I am no better than a kept beast, my pride sold for a bowl of feed. But my soul, nay, that you shall not have. I refuse your honeyed offers of a new home. This land is where I belong, and this is where I shall remain. Blip, you demonstrate opposition to contingent's overtures. On what basis do you refuse this cooperation? The data suggests the local populace is struggling to produce the bare minimum of sustenance. Have you some secret strategy for survival? Or do your orders compel you to accept your present misfortune? What? Must I be mocked by a Magitech toy now? No, I have no secret strategy, no binding orders. I will comport myself as any true Garlean patriot would. Uncompromising, unbending. Bless it all. Once again, this input is unanticipated. Let us move aside and process what we have heard. Dude, you are going to die. Don't do this. There's not for me here. I know this. But if I surrender my homeland, then what is it all for? Okay. Let's go here. Let's not talk to the depressed man. Okay. Assessing and analyzing recorded data. Integration complete. I've evaluated this most recent input and made comparisons to our discoveries in Ratzat-Han, consistent only in their inconsistency. The responses from both contingent member and imperial citizen were highly irrational. Conversely, any Omicron considering their predicaments would have echoed my assessment exactly. The divergence from self-evident logic is key. Hypothesis: the illogical relationship between would-be saviors and suffering populace is another result of the unpredictable nature of mortal hearts. Blip. Any property or ability has inherent advantages and disadvantages, yet I have encountered such a unique detriment. It appears that those who share your metaphysical capabilities are prone to complicating simple cognitive processes. An undesirable quality. I will, however, persist in furthering my understanding of the subject. Hang on. Basically saying, we make things complicated. Yeah. That's more to life. Query. Prior to formulating our next step, I wish to know who is this Licinia the Imperial mentioned. Let me tell you about Garleans. I actually do not remember much of Licinia. Acknowledged. To summarize, insufficient data on foreign culture resulted in inadvisable and ultimately fatal action. I witnessed such self-destructive behavior during the course of our planetary conquests. Overwhelmed enemy forces would voluntarily withdraw into perilous regions, leading to a succession of inevitable losses. Tangential data request. I wish to learn about burial customs. The practice has ever seemed nonsensical, but new data suggests it arises from the same source as your cognitive complications. Take me to Lucinia's burial site. It may aid me in stand. Boop, bloop. You okay? Omega? Energy delivery systems compromised. Core temperature critically low. Bleep. Warning. Immediate heating required. Request. Apply friction to outer frame. Hug him. Hug him really hard. Friction. Don't worry, Omega. I am hugging as hard as I can. Rub warmth back into Omega's frame. Bloop, blip. Temperature nominal. Energy level stabilizing. The creators of this model must have experienced impaired cognitive reasoning during the design process. Upon our return, I will request additional climate shielding, as well as an accurate temperature sensor array. This will not affect my combat capabilities, but should improve my basic survival rate. Reconfirming sub-destination. In which direction will we find Victor Spoils? You sure you can keep going? Alright. Acknowledged. Alpha, you are to remain in close proximity, close enough to envelop me in your feathers. You are permitted to carry me on your back, if you so choose. Yeah! To the Vector Spoils, all the way over there. Wait, now I'm starting to remember right, Nick. Is Licinia the two sisters? I think it could have been. They introduced their names very quickly, and then they died very quickly after that. That's right, we did bury them. This is where we buried them. Oh no, well this is where especially it all happened. So yeah, no, it must be the older sister, Licinia. Alright. That's a First Legion soldier. Hi buddy, how are you doing? Do you hate me like everybody else? It's very busy. Maybe he does hate me, but I'm just gonna talk to Alpha. Quick. There they are. They got rid of the radio here. Sad. Blip. A deceptively deep snowdrift almost defeated me, but we have successfully arrived at the location you indicated. Oh my goodness. Blip. Caution advised. It's a Garlean. An unknown individual appears to be investigating the object of my interest. You're Eorzeus champion, aren't you? Joanna Joyster. Hey, buddy. We mean you no harm. Oh, I never introduced myself, did I? I'm Manius, soldier of the First Legion. and comrade of Euless. Perhaps you remember me from Tertium. We spoke about collecting ceruleum, and again later on, after Lord Quintus had passed. Right. You were there. In the subway. Manius, explanation requested. What is the reason for your presence here? That must be the tiniest magic weapon no, it's just an oddly shaped communicator, isn't it? Yes, that's a communicator. Someone is talking, he couldn't come out here. In any case, I have nothing to worry to report. I heard that the sisters who used to live in my sector were buried here, so I thought I'd come to pay my respects. I also love this jam. It's like the radio never left. I love how they made an original song for the Carly theme. It's so great. But no one else told me the story, complete with profuse apologies, though they were adamant that no amount of remorse could erase the tragedy of what came to pass. Not that my fellow soldiers and I are in any place to judge. We were manipulated, fooled into starting an insurrection which led to countless deaths among our countrymen. Objection. The casualties incurred through your infighting are distinct from those caused by the Isambard contingent. To restate, you are justified in seeking restitution from the contingent for causing deaths of Licinia and her sister. Retaliation for damages sustained is also logical progression. What are you... Oh my god, please stop bringing this up. I can deduce two reasons why you do not initiate hostilities with Joanna and her allies. 1. You judge your remaining forces too weakened to contend effectively with the contingent. 2. Your emotions are complicating the issue. It's understanding emotions. Tell me, which of these is correct? Well, when you lay it out like that... I'm afraid my answer isn't like to win me any medals, so would you mind keeping this to yourselves? Go ahead, speak your mind. There's the unspoken thought that we're outmatched on the battlefield, certainly. But the real reason is not demanding restitution has little to do with weighing the odds. The simple truth is, I'm so caught up with simple survival that I've no strength to spare for past grievances. The same goes for avenging my comrades we've lost, be that my brothers in arms or Lord Quintus himself. Although it seems everyone has an opinion about the manner of his passing. Some say he should have fought until the end, that he abandoned us to the enemy. Others praise him for taking the full burden of responsibility and freeing us to walk our own path. Oh, low flow. I don't know who's right and who's wrong, but I'm inclined to side with the latter. He gave us the choice for freedom. And that's the choice I made. I could cry and rant and rage, but what would be the point? I'll save my energy for worrying about my next meal, my next task. I need to focus on the ones left behind, on making some kind of life for my comrades and me. And if I need to lean on the contingent to do that, then that's what I'll do. Even if their aid comes at a price, I'm willing to pay it. Even amongst our own, there are times when cooperation demands compromise. What matter that they're outsiders? Besides, I think I could grow to like Alphino and Alice. They've reached out to us with kindness and compassion from the very beginning. They're very good kids. Summation, your desire to survive, even should it mean allying with a contingent, was a feeling you already harbored. at your side had committed worse atrocities was the logic you invented later to justify your reasoning. Blunt, but accurate, I suppose. The heart is honest about what it wants, even if the mind takes a while to reconcile the decision. Sometimes we act on emotion, and then we think later. Now this has been oddly cathartic, but I must return to my duties. There are wild beasts to cull, watch fires to light, supplies to transport. Even without an emperor, there's no rest for an imperial. Be well and stay safe. Yes, thank you for that. Our robot friend is also going through catharsis. Blip. Upon review of recent input, I have arrived at an unexpected conclusion. I have been formulating my assessments on the premise that it was man who commanded the strength of his heart, but the data suggests the opposite is true. The surge of spirit, of feelings, of emotions can entangle your thoughts to such a degree that even control over your own behavior is compromised. It seems a most counterproductive specification. This also explains why my interactions with mortal subjects have produced more confusion than clarification. It presents a formidable barrier to understanding. Oh boy. There they are. Quack, 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 quack. Blip. My earlier hypothesis has been borne out. The suboptimal operation being conducted here is the result of emotionally compromised reasoning. I am ready to progress to my third and final query. I would learn more about those referred to as ancients. It is clear that this group was a crucial factor of the final days, but the information contained in the report was insufficient to form an overview. I'm sorry, you can tell me to go back in time? The Laporettes are creations of the ancients, and are said to maintain repositories of their knowledge. By my calculations, the base of these moon dwellers will provide the best source of additional data. Teleport us to their burrow, Joanna, preferably before my battery freezes over. Cool. Whoops. Welcome to Bestie's Burrow. You're welcome. Quack quack. Yes, indeed. Blip. Your teleportation spell was successful. We appear to have arrived at the location described as Bestie's Burrow. An inspection of technology in use here would give me detailed insight into the ancients and their civilization. This body, however, lacks my previous frame's advanced observational functionality. I will require external assistance. Do you want me to carry you? No, it can't be. Growing way, yo, what up? It is you. Oh, Joanna, I've missed you so. Oh, what is this you brought with you? The self-feathery vision. I thought you were going to talk about Omega. Oh my, it's like, oh my god, it's one of those elegant things. We've been outfluffed. Pack up the moon. It's all over. What? Why bother with burrow building bunnies when you could walk around with this adorable avian engineer? Just bake me into a pie and be done with it. Go away, calm down. You're still adorable. It's fine. You're all adorable, even Omega. Inspect our inventions. Wait, so you're not done with us? Huh. I wasn't truly worried, of course, and I certainly wasn't about to roll myself in dough and dive into cooking Way's new oven. That sounds dark. Ahem. If a technical breakdown is what you need, then I am your loperet. As the resident atmospheric regulation expert, I can field any question or query you might care to pose. Blip. Acceptable. You will employ this being to guide me around the facilities. Your presence is not mandatory. Even locked within my current chassis, I am still an autonomous construct that has endured hundreds of life cycles. I am capable of completing this simple objective alone. Okay. Go right ahead. I'm Alpha. Objective complete. Was the tour... what happened to Growing Way? Wait, yeah, what happened to Growing Way? Did you eat him? After my 50th question, his responses began to suffer noticeable delays. 50th question. By that stage, we had viewed a representative cross-section of elaborate engineering, thus I deemed it unnecessary to retain his company. Did you just ditch him? What the fuck? Conclusion. Extrapolating from the fraction of technology on display, the full spectrum of the ancient advancement was at minimum equivalent to a level 4 civilization. A fact which demands further investigation. Despite establishing a near-ideal society, these beings nevertheless harbored a weakness which invited self-destruction. In studying them, I stand to gain a greater understanding of Sir's anomalous decision. Right. That's difficult to understand. They were pretty utopia-like, but then they just sort of weren't. All thanks to a depressed dad and her depressed bird. Growing Way informed me that another type of ancient-made entity exists upon this satellite. The one they call the Watcher. I would speak to him. That's a brilliant idea. We should do that. Let's go ahead. Yeah, I was expecting you to talk to your Omega friends, but yes, you could talk to the Watcher. Then conserve your ether. We will ride this Argos to our destination, as you have suggested. Yeah, let's ride Argos. Oh, it's up. It's way more up. Climb the stairs real good. What the hell? Is this a fake? Where did they go? What the fuck was that? I have no idea. Quack, 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 quack. Well, Argos is pointedly ignoring the existence of Omega and Alpha. Yo, look, just take them with me, please. They're like my objects. Bloop. Impedance detected. The creature identified as Argos refuses to acknowledge our presence. Hypothesis. Upon our arrival, Growing Way expressed concern that he had been outfluffed. This suggests the existence of a fluff-based hierarchy. What? Yes! You're so right. This is why Argos is ignoring you. Argos is just too high in the fluff, and Alpha is just a level below, sadly. My station in such a system would be predictably low, but Argos is adamant in ignoring even Alpha. Its fluffiness level is impossible to gauge. Argos turns to you with an impassive gaze. It seems you will need to intervene. Argos. You are the fluffiest of them all, dear Argos. Argos gives an exasperated snort before motioning to his back. It seems you have permission to climb aboard. Bloop. You have secured the creature's permission. Curious. Is it your fluffy ears, which provided such exemplary standing in the hierarchy? Yes, they are indeed pretty fluffy. That's why Argos likes me. What would you say if you were a Lalafell? I've allowed myself to become distracted. Let us continue onto the Watcher at once. Oh, actually, I know they couldn't animate them on Argos, but I wish they did. That would have been great. Hey, buddy. Yeah, what up? Oh my god. The Watcher located an estimate of this being's height explains the inconvenient scale of Bestway's burrow. Yes. Quack, 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 quack. Yeah, big lad indeed. I was bemused by the arrival of these small visitors, but I see they are companions of yours. What a rare thing for my abode to be thus crowded. For how may I be of service to you? Hello, Watcher. My purpose here is to learn more about the ancients. I would know of their deeds, their philosophies, and the very nature of their hearts. I would understand why the final days was visited upon my home star. A worthy endeavor, but there is another better suited to assisting you with that task. Perhaps you might favor us with a tale or two of the ancients you met during your travels, Joanna. My fragmented memories would be a pale substitute indeed for the clarity of your more recent experiences. Ah yes, my many friends. My frenemy, Hermes, and good old Medion. And then Hermes just got too depressed, and he was just like, I think we should just try this dying thing. Why not? You know, living has been so annoying. Maybe we'll find the answer to life if we do it. And then he enacted the final days, and it caused a lot of issues. Eidolon then split the world into like 14 parts. It was kind of crazy. Everyone said, yo, don't do that. And she was like, brah, gotta do it. And then that's how it happened. Yes, I can envision every detail. Your meeting with Vana, and MS Salk, and Hyphlodius. The sorrow and determination of Hermes. I am a creation of Eidolon, and as such, I believe the age of the ancients would fade and be forgotten. Yet knowing that their memory lives so vividly within you, it brings me great joy. I pray you keep them close to your heart. No problem, buddy. At the time of your journey to the past, the one whose essence I embody would have been a scholar at Aniter. What? Really? Do you know their name? A shame. Had you reason to go there, perhaps you might have met. I went to that... Yeah, I went there once. You sure you don't... Are you La Brea? That would be funny as shit if you were. As a man of learning, he was firm friends with Vana. They spent long hours trading theories, or debating the laws of the universe. Are you La Brea? I remember joining her fraction as the final days bore down upon us. Yet of the events surrounding that tragedy, I recall precious little. Maybe not, I don't know. Eidolon wished for the people of your age to decide your own path. Thus I suspect my recollection was limited by design. Yet even she could not cut away one persistent memory. I feel most distinctly the sadness at what has come to pass. That becoming Eidolon's heart, Vana would forever stand apart from the people she so loved. Yeah. If she were so resolved in her convictions, then he too would share her sleepless vigil over the future yet to unfold. Thus was the vow he made to Vana as her transformation took hold. His fervent wish must have reached her in some fashion, for though his life was drained away by the summoning, he was reborn with new form and a new purpose when I awoke as the Watcher of the Moon. Aww. As you heard, Joanna, you felt, you thought, and in seizing the future for yourselves have you brought full circle the saga which Vana began. What you accomplished was no divine miracle. It was but the beacon of hope passed down from one generation to the next. A succession of wishes and prayers reshaping the star onto the world we knew you deserved. You have our deepest gratitude. I thank you not as myself, but as the man I once was, and on behalf of those who devoted themselves to Vana's vision. Oh, that's so nice. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I understand the facts of your story, Joanna, but not how you have chosen to process them. On what grounds do you speak of Vana with such fondness? By sundering the world, she ultimately guided your kind to victory, yet in doing so caused irreparable damage to its individual members. The full scale of that act is beyond calculation. It is evident, however, that it resulted in a protracted period of suboptimal existence for Emmett Silk and his brethren. Listen, they had a problem with letting go. It was a bit of an issue, and then they decided to just torture us for a long time. It was not great. Query: if the survival of your kind is the deciding factor in your evaluation, then should you not also admire Hermes and his decision to subject man to a trial, forcing you to change or perish, as was the fate of countless civilizations before you? From my perspective, his determination was similar to that of the Omicron's ancestors, those who first began trading flesh for machine, so that our people might stand against the onslaught of aggression from other races. Yeah, but, guys went a little far in that trial, didn't you? It was an unprecedented attempt, accompanied by much failure and sacrifice. Their early experiments were crude, primitive. Had they not made those first advances, however, we would not have remained vulnerable to our environment. The violence would have utterly consumed us. And what of Emmett Silk himself? Judging by your retelling, he was a benevolent ally saddled with a tragic fate. Yet I remember the years when my instruments fed data from events across the star. During that time, I witnessed his Asians engineer multiple instances of cataclysmic strife. These calamities, as you know them, were responsible for planet-wide destruction. A man whose endgame relied upon the extinction of all modern mortals must by definition be your worst enemy. He's a complicated meow meow, as the internet calls them. I don't know. What do you want me to say, man? We at least lived through it. I require an answer. As a being of heart and soul, how do you classify each of these pivotal figures? From your perspective, which of them was most justified in their actions? I say Mom. She loved us so much. She kept standing by us no matter what. I could say all of them in their own way, in their own messed up way. But if I had to say which one wins out, I have to go with an nah. Emmett's cool, but he did lead Garlemald and also the Elegant Empire into very dangerous routes, and they did very terrible things under his rule. I mean, he tried to be friends with them, but then he ultimately thought, I don't want to be friends with these savages. Which is funny because his group of people thought everyone else is savages, but then he also thought of his own people as savages. Very, very dark in that own way. And Hermes, of course, is Hermes. Like, I get he wanted to find the meaning of life, but did so in a very, very fucked up way. So I can't see that much justification in that. So I gotta go with it now. Yeah, she subjected us to being mortal, but I don't know, that we persevered. She did it out of love. I think I understand. You seek a definitive answer, yet based on our experiences, Joanna and I might develop very different opinions. In the same fashion, you are free to form your own thoughts on the matter. Do not be so swift to consider them without merit. Yeah, you can justify all of their actions. Fuck it, go ahead. I do not have my own thoughts on the matter. I assess each situation with the same logic pathways available to every Omicron. Even if 1,000 Omicrons were asked to analyze the same event, they would all return with the same result. Regardless of individual experience, there is no strength to be found in fractured reasoning. Nonetheless, I find your input valuable. Recording data alongside interview results. This concludes my investigation into the incomplete elements of the final day's report. I will reanalyze the accumulated information and examine the factors which led to Sir's incomprehensible decision. Let us return to Thomasin. This has been an adventure. Let's go. See you later, Watcher. Thanks for the help. Oh, hang on. It's much cheaper to do this way. Wait. I wanted to ask him a question before the quest ended. Oh, well, whatever. It wasn't that important. Let's go into this fucking menu. I went to the right place, right? Yeah, okay. Good. No, this time we fly down. Woo! Yeah, 180! We're crushing down. Let's go! I didn't know you was the water down here. Two down. Oh, hang on. The perfect mount. Yeah! Guys, look what I did. I gave up my new body. They're like, oh my god, what did you do? Ah, just kidding. You had a fruitful trip, I hope. I'm absolutely bursting to ask you about the experiences with Omega, but I don't wish to be a pest. I will swallow my questions for now and maintain my academic decorum. Besides, it seems our engineering friends are in a hurry to leave. Quack quack! Blip. How you doing, Wedge? Joanna, I wasn't sure if you'd be back in time. Well, I guess you guys have to go. Places to be and all that. Oh, there you are. Right at the last moment. Journey with Omega is probably educational, I hope. We planned to ask you all about it, and a mystery transmission besides, but I'm afraid something urgent has come up. Seems one of our Ironworks associates fouled up a job elsewhere, and Jesse needs Wedge and me to rush in and lend a hand. There's an airship already waiting for us at the harbor, in fact. Do you think you could escort us over there as we talk as we walk? Acceptable. I'm fully capable of speech during ambulation. I figured you might be. Right, let's get a move on then. Cutscene time. Sorry. Whenever the close in distance plays, I just go fucking insane. So, you cleared up all those points of confusion then. I'm assuming no, right? I had mistakenly classified your intangible heart as an ability of some kind. Also, this is auto, so I have to read this a little fast just in case. An uncanny power that Omicrons could neither learn nor even measure. Even now, its full nature yet eludes my comprehension. Based upon our investigations, however, I have decided to alter my definition. A phenomenon which influences one's interpretation of reality. That is as close to an answer as I have found. According to Sir's actions upon meeting Medion strongly indicate the presence of a heart. His reality changed. Sir did not follow routine logic, but formulated an independent assessment based upon the reality it perceived. I will take a photo of this moment. It felt that the best recourse for the Omicrons was to cease their expansion and terminate all functions. It's so dark. Is that what the message also said? Is that... Yeah. Change of reality. Just... Well, here's our ship. Aye, we need to be going. But first I'll hold you to that bargain, Omega. Oh wait, now we hear what the message says. It's time you told us what was in that transmission from the flight logs. Blip. Acknowledged. I will uphold the terms of our agreement. The recording salvaged from the Ragnarok was a simple one. The message is so basic, in fact, that the time spent listening to it may result in a net loss of value. Shall I continue? Now you're just teasing. Tell us the message already. Acknowledged. Converting dialect coding to local language. Oh, the song. To whomever receives this message out there in the vast reaches of the cosmos. I'm taking a lot of photos of this. Just to someone, I hope, who looks up at the stars with the same wishful gaze as mine. To you I say, forge ahead. May all our tomorrows be blessed with joy. What? Who sent this message? Medium? The ancient... I don't know. Now I gotta go online to look at theories. The ancients? Was it Emmett? The message had no designated recipient. It lacks purpose. The concept of joy is overly abstract. The vocal supplication to manifest said joy is unrealistic in its optimism. Omega's been going on Reddit too long. Yet based upon their expressions, my assessment... Thank you, Heat of Battle. My assessment of the transmission's value conflicts with its apparent impact. And still I fail to understand you, sir. Your heart still confuses me. Was termination of everything the correct course? How did you arrive at this conclusion? It defies all my attempts at reasoning. But I was designed to evolve. If I continue to learn, the probability that I eventually comprehend this phenomenon is greater than 0. See you guys. That's giving me Praetorian vibes because of that ship. So I will put the dilemma of your decision aside for now. What a good questline. And continue my existence upon this distant star. As I dwell among these people, among these many life forms, so will I continue to piece together the complete shape of their mortal hearts. I must document our progress. We gotta forge ahead, baby. Aww. This may be a goodbye for a while. Let me just give a good old hug. Hang on. Where's... There you go. Let me just hang on. Get rid of my weapon. There. Do that for a second. And then one last photo, since you guys may be gone for a bit. Let's see, emote. And group post, hang on. I think I need to also do salute, or oh, I think it's sit up and sit down. It helps out. Sit down? Actually, I could sit down. I gotta block his legs if I do that. Sit up. Yeah, his legs are more visible if I do it that way. Just do this. No. Cheapos. Still looking at Alpha. Am I looking off in the thing? I'm trying to not... Well, I mean, my character is looking at... I don't know why. There we go. Oh. There we go. What if I do a nod? An agreement. Ah, I think this is fine enough. It's 2 fisheye angle lens here. That's good enough. And then just do self and NPCs only. Sorry, other person. Okay, that NPC is kind of in the way there, but you know, it's fine. What the? That's so weird. NPC includes certain enemies. That person's an enemy. Is Alpha not an NPC? That's a minion. That's scary. Oh, whatever. They get to be part of it too, I guess. It's fine. And then just sort of any fun color filters out here? Actually, it should be a little brighter because it's kind of dark at night here. Let's do that there. That's nice. Actually, let's go with that. That's good. All right, Alpha. It's time to go. Quick, quick! I'm gonna miss you, buddy. You too, Omega. It's been nice going through your development. Your contribution to my education is appreciated, Joanna. Indeed, I have amassed a satisfying quantity of valuable data. Now that our negotiated business is complete, however, Alpha and I will return to traveling the world. Drawing on recent experience, I am confident we can expand the radius of our ventures by a significant margin. Yeah! New places we can find them! Maybe they'll go to Ultima too. We need not limit ourselves to Eorzea. I am now familiar with Charlian and Ratan, and would also like to visit the freezing climes of Garlam. I neglected to instruct Biggs and Wedge to upgrade my climate shielding. Blip, I will reroute my request to Deputy President Jesse. Engaging ambulation and parting salutations. Farewell, Joanna. Farewell, Omega. See ya, Alpha. Alpha gives a vigorous shake and drops forth a scrap of paper from under his wing. Oh, quack! It seems he wants you to have it. Perhaps this is his way of thanking you? It's... Oh! Oh! Thank you, Alpha. Oh. Oh. Oh, I thought he disappeared for a second. Flip swiftly, Alpha. The road is long and we have barely begun our journey. There he go. A new chapter in New Game Plus has been added. What section is it under? Hang on. Let's see. It's under, first of all, it's under here, right? No, duty. It's under duty. New Game Plus, there it is. Okay, there's New Game Plus. I assume it's the Omega raids. There's the raids. Omega. There you go. Omega Beyond the Rift. Yeah, there we go. It's right there. It's after that. Which is funny because you need to complete Endwalker in order to do it. But it's for Eden. You know what it means. Maybe there'll be an Eden Beyond the Rift. And then we'll see Gaius and Reen's wedding. Okay, they're kids, but we'll see them. We'll see them go on a date. I don't know. Don't ask me. Also, I don't got the. I just never completed these quest signs. At this point, I should just do them off stream. It's just I've heard bad things about the near one, and I don't know. I gotta get bacon bread or some shit to complete the fucking. That's so dumb. Anyway, and it's 6:37. I mean, we did what we had to do. Do we have to continue? Oh, Jaxus is already live. Didn't even know. Oh, that's true. Since he's already live, might as well go there already. Should I raid? I only got 2 viewers. No, we will just end it and then host it. You'll know I'm there. Oh, okay. I dropped a can. It's fine. It was empty. Thank you, people, for coming by. We did our quest lines. We finally completed most of what is in 6.15. Now I can do grindy stuff until 6.2 comes out. That'll be fun. I gotta do Oxidor stuff. Maybe do the extremes. Try them again. You know, give him a better shot than what I did last time. Cause, oh boy. But yeah. Thanks for coming by a second. And everybody else who stopped by. I will see you all later. Take care of yourselves. I don't know why I'm logging out. I'm just going to Jax's stream. Alright. Bye. That was also fun. Who wrote that? Oh yeah, I forgot to the question. Who said that? Who said to forge ahead? My feeling is Medion, one of the ancients. Medion or Emmet. Or Vana, somehow. Possible? Probably mostly Emmet. How they would write a transmission? Very difficult to say. It could be Xenos, which would be very weird of him to write that as he died, but I don't, it seems like a Medion type of decision instead. I'm gonna go with Medion, as probably wrote that. That's definitely what I think. She's still out there in the universe. And decided to at least say something that wasn't depressing, you know, that wasn't influenced by depression. What is that? Is that the moon? The fuck? That is the moon. Why is it dark? Oh my god. It's gonna fall! Dalamu 2.0. They're gonna rebuild the game again. Oh god. Alright,